Welcome students. Now let us continue with our lesson number 4, more functions in MS Excel, video part 5. Using the if functions. Now let us see how we can use more with if functions. Besides returning strings of text, the if function can be used to return numeric values, Boolean values, values in other cells and other functions. For example, if you want to implement a system where grace marks are to be added. Now suppose if a student has failed just by less than 3 marks and you want to add some grace marks in his total, then you need to use an addition formula in the if statement. Now let us practically see more on if functions. Now I explained you an example, like if there is a case where a student is failing by less than 3 marks, like in case of Bina Rege, she scored 33 while passing mark was 35, so she is failing just by 2 marks, right? So for such a student we'll give some grace marks. Okay, so we are going to put a condition where if a student fails by less than 3 marks, 5 marks grace would be added to their total. Okay, this is what we are going to add in our today's if statement. Okay, now let us see how we are going to do it. See, Darshana Shah would not get those 5 grace marks because her score is 29 and less than 3 marks is like 1 mark or 2 marks, right? Darshana Shah has got 29, so she has got almost 6 marks less. She should have scored 35, but she's 29. Okay, now same is the case with Sandeep Pujari. He's also got 26, so he's way down. He's failing by 9 marks. Only if a student is failing by 1 or 2 marks, which is less than 3, like Sunil Pendse, he will go get those grace marks. Okay, so let's see how it works. As I told you, we'll have to write a function here. Now please pay attention. This is a very important function. Okay, now let us start with our equal to sign. There you go. Okay, equal to if. Now we'll start with a bracket. I'm going to add one function called as ABS. Now what is this ABS? ABS is absolute value of the difference between minimum passing marks and the marks student has scored. So what is ABS? ABS is basically absolute value of the difference or absolute difference. Okay, okay, now is equal to if absolute difference. Now what was the mark we have decided? It's like 35 minus whatever this person has scored in this column. So what is the address? C5. There you go, the column is C5. Close the bracket. Whatever value is there in the C5 minus 35. Okay, then if this value is less than 3, only then we have to add those grace marks, right? So put a comma here, then again this value plus we have to add 5 marks as grace, comma, otherwise you have to leave as it is. If they don't require, like Anita Aurora, does she require grace marks? No, she's already got 98. So this grace marks will be given only to people like say Bina Rege or Sunil Pendse, who are failing by just 1 or 2 marks. Okay, right. So is equal to if ABS, that is absolute difference. Difference is 35 minus whatever they've scored here. If it is less than 3, you have to add 5 marks to that cell, and otherwise, if they don't require it, you have to give that value as it is, right? So we'll close it and let us see how it goes. Hope you've understood. Is equal to if absolute difference passing mark is 35 minus this, whatever it could be. When we are going to drag it, all this will come into picture. Okay. So C5 is this address, but later on when we drag, all the addresses will be taken. Now this value, if it is less than 3, then you have to add 5 marks to this column or this cell, and if it's not required, the marks will be as it is. Okay. Now let me drag this, or let me press an enter here. So has Anita Arora's marks changed? No, they were 98 and they still are 98. Why? Because she is not failing with 1 or 2 marks. Let us take it ahead. Acharya, Anantacharya, no, he is not failing. Let us see what happens to Bina Rege. Now, Bina Rege has got 33 marks. So, 33, which means she is failing by 2 marks. So, 33 plus 5 has become 38. Okay, so here you see there is a difference. She was having 33 marks and she got 5 marks as grace, and then she's got 38. Hmm. Now does Deepa Limai require? No. Now will Darshana Shah's marks change? No, they haven't changed, because she is not failing with 1 or 2 marks. She is failing with 6 marks. Now for 6 marks, we can't do anything. Okay, if it was just by 1 or 2 marks, things would have been different. Now in case of Ajit Nayak, see, Ajit Nayak has got 100 on 100, so he doesn't require any grace marks. Okay, now let's see what happens to Sunil Pendse. Now Sunil Pendse had 34 marks and he is scoring now 39 because he got those 5 marks grace marks added to his total. Okay, so this is how marks have increased. Now let us again pull it down. Rajesh Joshi doesn't require. Sandeep Pujari, there will be no difference because he is failing by like almost how many marks? Almost 9 marks. That we can't help. So this is how. Now who got grace marks? Bina Rege got those grace marks. For 33, she's got 38, and Sunil Pendse was scoring 34, which was 1 mark less for passing, and he got 39. While there was no change in Sandeep Pujari's marks, 26, 26, 29, 29, because we had put a condition that it has to be only 3 marks less. It has to be only 3 marks less. Okay, got it? Yes or no? Okay, so let's come out of this function. Okay, right? I'll show you something here. Now suppose Darshana Shah, let us change her marks. Okay, let's make them 33. Let's see what happens here. 33 has become 38. So Darshana is also passed. But her original marks were how much? They were 29. I'm just showing you. Okay. If she had scored 40 marks, then it would have been just 40, right? If she has scored 34, what will happen here? She got 39. Okay. So in this way, 5 marks have got added to their initial total because they were failing by only 1 or 2 marks. Okay. Now let's see, has the student passed or failed? Let's check it out here. So what was the formula last time which we put here? Do you remember? So the formula was equals to, what was it? Do you remember? It was if, let's put the bracket, this cell address was less than 35, then the result was fail, right? Fail, fail. Close with the inverted comma, then normal comma. Otherwise, the person was pass. PASS. Let's put it in the inverted comma. Now, this is just going beyond. Okay, let's. Okay, now is this fitting in? Still not fitting in. We'll make it a little bigger. Okay, it's almost fitting. So this condition was there, right? Now the student is pass. One second. In this, what has happened? Okay, let's make it pass here. PASS. Let's close with the inverted commas. Let's close the bracket and press enter. Okay, so in this way, what you see is the result is pass. Now let's drag it again, pass. Let's take it up to here. Pass. Everybody's passed here. Now let's drag even more. Now let's see. So who has failed? Sandeep Pujari has failed. Why? Because it's way below 34, 35. So let's change this to like, let's make it 30. Now see what happens here. She's failed. Okay. Because 30 is way below. Okay. We are giving grace marks only to the people who are scoring 1 or 2 less marks, not 5 marks or something. Okay. Well, let's drag it even more, and nobody else has failed. There are only 2 people who have failed. Who are they? One is like Sandeep Pujari and another is Darshana Shah. Is there anyone else? No. Beena Rege also had scored very less, but still 33. She was on the borderline. She got those 5 marks and she's come to a total of 38. Darshana Shah 30 or 30, cause why she has failed? Because we are giving grace marks for less than 3 marks. Okay. Sudhil Pendse also passed with grace marks. But people like Sandeep Pujari have failed. Why? Because their marks were way too below. Okay. So this is how we have used this function here. This was more on if functions. So instead of returning only string values, we got numeric values here. Then we got Boolean values, also seen in our earlier classes. So this was more on if function. Hope you've understood this. Okay. So more on functions ends here. In the next class, I'll give you an assignment and then we'll have an exercise also solved. Okay. With this, we come to the end of the chapter, More Functions in MS Excel. See you again in the next class. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye.